Okay, hopefully this'll do the thing. Can you do the thing today, YouTube? Yes, it can do the thing. Hi everybody. Sorry for my absence this week. I was dealing with some like work stuff and personal stuff and my Jeep. Remember that Jeep, you guys? Jeep Strikes Back. Instead of it being like Star Wars, like Strikes Back, it's my Jeep. It's all good now. Dun, dun, we're gonna work on some concept art. Cause I wanna do it. And if I stream it, I have to do it. Okay. Hi, Miso. Gotta come say hi to all your fans, right? Yeah. Yeah. Alright, Miso, you can't stand there, hun. Goober. Yeah. Alright. Now that my cat is not sitting between me and my drawing tablet, I can get to work. Silly kitty. I don't even know what I'm doing. What is life? I don't know what I'm doing today. Okay. Alright, gotta lower all the cons. Ooh, where is... Get to play... I get to play the Guess This Layer game. So I don't know where anything is. Let's see. I just feel bad, like, missing my streams this week. I feel so bad about it. Okay. Alright, let's get back to doing line art. Miso, honey, I can't draw and pet your cute, adorable face at the same time. She's like, that's okay. What was I doing last time I looked at this? Oh yeah, I was starting this hand here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Sorry, like it's been like a few days since I've drawn. I'm a little rusty for a second. I'm a little rusty. My bad. Alright, what layer is this? It's a vibe, you guys. Just chaos today. Oh, that looks a little weird. There we go. That's better. Brush is still a little too big. Alrighty. Now I get to do my absolute favorite part, which is the armband and the arm. Here's the elbow. This comes in here. I feel like it's the opposite way. I might change the arm just so that it's more clear. I feel like it's been messing with people. Ours also doesn't really have a lot of tone, and so Mal doesn't by extension. So it's always hard when you're drawing someone who doesn't have a lot of definition. Like normally. At least for me it is. Doesn't help that I can't see his muscle underneath. I guess I could draw them for myself. And they don't have to be super clean drawings either, which is nice, actually. Now that I think about it, they don't have to be super clean drawings. Just ideas. I wanted to do clean drawings because of course I did. Alright, now we can do these. Whoopsie. Nope. Alright, we want 5 of these. Da, 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 da. More fun music on. Oh, who pinged me literally right after I started streaming? Oh, it's not a ping, it's an at. Well, that's the same thing. Yeah, music. What about this one? Me. Oh, why do I have this list on? I should have the big list. I don't know why I did that. Let's see, music library, artists. Okay, I think I got some music on, guys. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, we'll try that one. I'm trying to find something that wasn't like sad. Okay, so alright, what was the pattern that I had? I had it over here. Yeah, there's a little pattern. Dun, dun. Oh, I need to put it up here too. Alright, well what I'll do is I'll do the lazy thing and I'll grab this layer, Control C, because it's roughly the same angle. Yeah. Control V. Move it over here, because it's almost the same angle. Control T. It's not gonna fit perfectly, and that's okay. Just has to fit good enough. Yeah. Yeah, just like that. Alright, and then the way that I have it set up is every one of these. Oh, there's a border effect on it. Oof. That looks bad. Let me just double it up. Oops. I doubled the border effect. There we go. Okay, merge those. And then double this up. Yeah. Oh, wait. Ah. Merge the wrong layers. Border effect off. Border effect off. Okay, then we want to merge these ones. Alright, then we can double that. Ta-da! Ta-da! Looks good. Okay, so now we're gonna do the rain per se. Alright, now let's throw in the rest of tassels here. Doop doop. Dun, 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 dun. Man, concept art is tough. It stresses me out. What's crazy is I really have not even like done much like concept art. It's just like trying to design these characters. Really, I guess that technically counts. Let's see here. All right, we have these shapes here in front. We got one, and then these are more like organic, similar to what we just did, but a little more controlled. Okay, so that's there. Now I get to do all the little like orbs, and that's really easy. I'll show you guys how I do that. That's easy peasy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a black pen just so that I can see it. And essentially, just so you guys can see what I gotta do that part too. Essentially, what I'm gonna be throwing in here is the little like tassels that go around. So that's what I'm gonna be doing next. But first, I'm gonna do. I realize my sound may be really loud. Alright, so we're gonna come in here. Oops, maybe a little thinner. A little thicker, that's fine. Hey, Lychee, what's up? How you doing? Gonna come watch me struggle. Alright, well, we'll stop here and then we'll come down here. Oh. Alright, how am I gonna... That's good enough. I can manually draw that, that's fine. I was trying to be lazy. How you doing? Hopefully my music's not too loud. Let me turn it down a bit. It is a little kind of loud. Looking at my mixer. Hopefully that's better. Let's see. Sorry, I like Adrian Von Ziegler. I really like his music and it helps me focus. We find something that's like not so dark. Oh my gosh. Can we find something that's like... Yeah? Let's see. A part of the daily page sketches? Yeah, I feel that. I need to make like a happy... I need to make like a happy playlist. Because a lot of his stuff is dark, which I like, but it's like oof. Let's see. Oh, I can just. Oh, I can't do that. Okay, well, I'll just do this then. Yeah, I like, there was one I was wanting to listen to. It's called Hide and Seek. There it is, I found it. I like this one, for some reason. It just screams... I like this one, yeah. I have like a playlist of stuff that I like, I like the specific songs of, Adrian's that I like. So usually I'll like listen, I'll just like play those over while I'm drawing. YouTube is so picky about like your copyright though. Well, it depends on the person. Like some of them are more chill than others. Like with Adrian, I went ahead and like bought his his like collection discography, so I could just play that. And most people seem to like it. That's close enough. I wonder how many people are gonna notice the weird spot. Only those who were here are gonna notice the weird spot now. It's like a fingerprint almost, that's funny. There. It's like the one spot that doesn't quite line up right. Ugh. So you said you're working on it to help strengthen my art style, make it more consistent. Dude, it's hard. It's hard getting like that consistent look. That's kind of one of the things I struggled with in my pages too, was getting it to like look consistent. And then when I went to my portfolio review with Viz Media at San Diego, and like they asked me to follow up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am not ready for this. I am not consistent with my own characters yet. Oh gosh. So yeah, that was fun. And so that's what I'm working on, is what I'm gonna send to them. And they, like, the guidelines say that, like, sketches are fine, so I'm kind of like, well, that's what I'll do. That's all I have to do, that's what I'll do. I'm also the type of devil who has, like, a ton of, like, layers, and then I just figure it out later when I'm ready. I just don't have the temper to deal with it right now. Alright, let's get all of these, though, in one folder, so at least I know everything that applies to that. I'm pretty sure that's all of these three. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna throw these up top. Okay. I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm not, like... So, like, when I went to Viz Media, like, I didn't actually want to submit. That sounds weird. Like, I went to the portfolio review just for the actual portfolio review. It wasn't supposed to be like, oh, let me pitch something. It's like, oh, this is just a general portfolio review, no big deal. But my stupid butt brought the wrong portfolio, because, like, I had started a pitch, like, just to make one to, like, organize, like, concept art and stuff. So, like, I was starting to make a pitch thing, and I had, like, a regular portfolio, but because I was working at San Diego Comic-Con, I wasn't, like, just attending for fun. I was, like, working for Global Comics while I was there. I wasn't paying attention to the files I was transferring, and I transferred the wrong file to my Samsung. And as I was sitting there, like, waiting for my turn, and I realized it, I wanted to cry. I genuinely felt like crying and screaming and walking away. But it worked out really well. And I have, like, a really funny story, if it goes anywhere. So basically what happened was when I got up there, I was... Oh, by the way, Sasaki Hisashi was there too. And so not only was the Viz Originals editor there, Sasaki Hisashi, former editor-in-chief of Weekly Shonen Jump, was there as one of the, like, portfolio reviewers. And I felt so sick to my stomach. So, I told them, like, hey guys, I have the wrong portfolio. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Like, can you give me feedback on, like, the art on its own merit? And they're like, yeah, we can do that. And so they did. And when I went to leave, I was given a business card told to follow up. So I'm like, hey. So it wasn't like I went in there like, oh, like, I'm gonna win them over, I'm gonna get that business card. Like, that was definitely not what I thought was gonna happen. It just worked out that way. It worked out really well, so completely not expected. And so now I'm working on it for reals. Like, for cereals. Cereals. Gluten-free cereals. Freaking hate like waiting for the rain to start, and it's just disappointing me every time I look outside. Nah, I don't like that. Let me level that out. It looks fine in the sketch. Let me grab the document with the feedback in it, and I can point out the feedback they gave me. It's your Gmail. Sorry, I have to go find it because I can't remember all of it. Squirrel brain has a limited memory. Start. Alright, so they said well, let me show you the original version that I took with me, and then I'll see what you think. Give me 1 second to bring it up. So, whoops, Give me 1 second, I'll bring it up for you. Come on, Acrobat, you can do it. Acrobat. It's being grouchy today. That's okay. We all have our days, Adobe. We have our days. Menu, blah, 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 blah. Give me 1 sec. I should have, like, had this ready, because people always ask me this, and I forgot to set it up. People always ask me. Depends view, scrolling. Okay, I'll show you. Okay. Where's my thingy? Yeah. Oh, it's too big. That's what she said. Okay, that's good enough, I think. Well, if those are my choices. Dang. It's not a... Can I do this? Yoink? Yeah. I'll just do that. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay. Oopsies. Okay, yeah, let me know when you get back, and I'll be ready for you. Hopefully I'll be organized by then, because I am never organized. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. I should, like, be ready for this, but I never am. The skull? Oh, thank you. That was from like my feedback on my portfolio. Okay, well, that's good. That works out perfectly. I'll just bring this up top. So let me get rid of this. So this is basically what I did was I brought in this was what I brought in. I have not made any changes to this. This is what I had with me, and it's unfinished. You can tell it's unfinished because I just threw in I just cropped panels from my manga and threw them in to redraw them later, and I didn't get the chance to do that because, like I said, I brought the wrong portfolio to my Viz Media portfolio review. And so this was all I had, on me. And so I'm like, hey guys, can I get feedback on just the art for its own merits? And they're like, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, we can do that. So I have to skip all the story stuff. Sorry guys, spoilers. So this was the main character. Let me see if I can zoom out just a teeny bit so you guys can see all of it. Okay. I think you guys can actually see all of it. There we go. You can see all of it now. So this was the main character. Their feedback for the main character, well, all of my characters in general, their main feedback was that it looks too much like Rumiko Takahashi's art style. specifically like the characters and stuff, which I agree with. I can definitely see that. I can definitely see that. Definitely not intentional. I mean, I do like Rumiko Takahashi's work, but I don't like sit there and like trace it or copy it or study it. Like, I don't like actively try to seek out looking like her work. So I found that really interesting. That's probably completely subconscious. But they also said that Aros, like the main character here, looked like Inuyasha himself, which I agree. So that was really funny. They also said to push the fantasy element more in all of my characters. So for example, like to push the fantasy element more, they kind of all look the same. Like look at the head and the hairstyles, like they all basically look the same, which is true. It's completely true. So that was a really good piece of feedback. Also to push it more, current designs are a little too real world, and too close to their original influences. And the thing that I just said, the silhouettes, hairstyles, and clothing need to be a bit more diverse. Use fantasy to come up with more variation. So those two, definitely really good feedback. This one I thought was kind of interesting and a little harder for me. It says, make the main character, which is Aros, his shadow or alt form, which is, it's kind of like an inner demon, I guess, if you want to think about it that way, more different in appearance. And the idea was they were originally supposed to look more similar, because the original concept of like these alter forms is they're a like all of the worst traits in the original, like the original being, like this Miyape version is supposed to like emphasize the worst traits. So I didn't even think about like changing the physical appearance that much. I just changed the personality. And so that's what I've done now, is I've changed it a lot. And I'll show you guys what the new stuff looks like. So that was kind of interesting. So it's been these two characters I've been working on the most the last couple weeks, combined with some newer pages. I've got 6 new pages sketched out, and I have about 2 chapters drafted, and then like a bunch of new artwork and stuff. They would have liked to, so it's, in addition to some of the character art that you can see here, I also included some sequential pages, just to show like what I already had. And they said on the sequential pages that we would have liked to see environments more, which is silly, because I love environments. I love backgrounds, and I purposely included stuff that was more active, because I thought they didn't want to see backgrounds. So I'm like, oh, that's great, I love drawing backgrounds. And they're like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, I like it more than characters. And they just kind of laughed. And then they said if I were to pitch to Viz, it would be, they would want the pages that I send in to have only English sound effects, which makes perfect sense. And then the last notes were that the art drawing, and this is like, these are the notes that I took, so these are in my words, not theirs. They also said that the like art is, quote, like near professional, which was really nice to hear, and to follow up. So yeah, so I kind of had like, so this page, oopsie, this one, and this one kind of all go together, and then these 3 go together. So, because I wanted to show, technically, from this one, where like the Aroso, Elmomino, like they're all like technically like in line with each other. So, yeah, so that's what I took with me. But you can see, like, in my character art up here, like, I just threw in panels, and I didn't get the chance to, like, clean them up and, like, because what I was going to do is I was going to do stuff like this, where it was all cleaned up, and I didn't get the chance to do that. So this was all I had with me. So, I guess it worked out. The other stuff is story stuff, because that's what they asked for in the pitch. I'm not going to show that to you, because spoiler, but, yeah, so that's what I took with me. I hope that was interesting. Let's see, move this back down. Yeah, that was the review that I got. Which I think it was all good advice, all really good feedback. Oh yes, definitely. I was definitely nervous. What made it scarier is Sasaki Hisashi was there. Which I didn't know he was going to be there. I think that was the worst part of it, was, like, realizing, like, I think if I had had everything prepared, I wouldn't have been as nervous. Because I would have had the right stuff, but because I didn't have the right content, I was extremely nervous. Because one of the, like, as someone who went to, like, art school, one of the big things they always teach you is make sure you have your portfolio, like, prepared, you're ready to go, like, you have the right things. And I didn't have the right things. That was, like, rookie mistake number one, having the wrong things. So I think that's what made me nervous. I think I still would have been a little bit nervous regardless, because it's kind of scary getting your stuff reviewed by, you know, like, some of the best editors in the world, I think. So, you know, I've been following, like, him on Twitter for quite a long time. It's like, I know how he can be. Not in, like, a bad way, but, like, I just knew that he can be picky. I mean, he's friggin' editor of, where he was the former editor-in-chief of Jump. You have to be picky at that level for, like, quality's sake. I think in general, like, those are always worth going to. If you have the opportunity to go, no matter how nervous you are, you need to go. And the reason is even if the feedback isn't what you want, let's see, I did 2, okay, just 2. Okay. Even if you don't get the feedback that you want, that's still valuable information that you can get. You know what I mean? So anytime you have that opportunity to get feedback from, like, a professional, you should take it. Let me think. Yeah, I didn't finish this. I thought so. Didn't finish that. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't care. I want to be really blunt with this, and like Viz, if anyone's listening from Viz, I'm really sorry. I don't care if a publisher wants me or not. I am not making Godsbane to get published. I went into the review like planning to, you know, do doujinshi forever. That's why I've never submitted to what's it called? Summer of Manga Saturday AM. I've never submitted. Like I've never submitted Godsbane anywhere. I've never submitted it to a publisher. Like, it doesn't, like Shrine, Saturday AM, what are the other ones? There's a whole bunch of them. I've never bothered submitting it, because I was completely fine, like, being indie forever. Like, I planned on being, you know, doujin forever. Doujinka forever, so I was okay with that. So no, would it have hurt my feelings? Probably a little bit. Yeah, probably a little bit. You know, but I'm not making Godsbane to be published. That's not my end goal. Plus, also, I think that would have said something about me if I, like, were to get a bad review and then just be like, okay, I give up on Godsbane forever now because this publisher didn't want me. Like, to me, that says you're not committed to the project. That says you're committed to being published. Like, that's what that says to me. So, like, it depends on your personal goals. If your goal is to get this project published, if you have to do it yourself, do it yourself. You know? Yeah, I literally have nothing else to do with my life. I have nothing else that I have planned to do with my life except make manga and work at Global Comics. Like, that's all I do. So, no matter what, I'd be making manga anyway. So, like, no publisher is gonna, like, crush my spirit that badly. I will do it long before they do. I will do it long before any publisher does. I'm just kidding. I think part of that comes from like my experience with art school, and I had so much I don't want to say rejection in art school, because that's not the word I'm looking for. I had a really hard experience, of course, a really hard experience in art school because, well, obviously manga, and the Godsbane is actually the redo of my thesis. Because I wasn't allowed to make manga for my senior thesis. And I swore up and down that I would do it the way that I wanted to do it. And I would publish it whatever way I had to do it. And this is me keeping that promise to myself. I've had more than my fair share of rejection already. It's gonna take a lot more than like Viz Media rejecting me to make me want to quit. I mean, I can understand someone wanting to be published by somebody because, you know, that can offer a lot of benefits. You know, but it should never be the end all be all. And if it's someone's end all be all, then I don't think they're serious about being a mangaka or comic creator or whatever they're submitting to, whatever medium they work in. I don't know, maybe that's a bad opinion, maybe that's a hot take, but that's my hot take of the day. You're welcome. Because you're going to get rejections, like that's just going to happen. And sometimes there are projects that are great, they just haven't found the right publisher yet, or they just haven't found the right editor to take a look at it. Like, I honestly didn't expect them to like Godsbane at all. I didn't even expect them to give me the time because I brought the wrong portfolio. That's like mistake, like, number one that you just don't do. So like I didn't even expect to be given any time. The fact that I was given time is like, wow, amazing, holy cool, like, dang, I'm not gonna mess this up now that I have your attention. And that's what you have to do. You have to, like, just go with it sometimes. How did the Summer of Manga contest go? I don't really like follow Saturday or anything, so I don't know what the update is. I'm really bad at, I mean, when I say follow, I mean like I don't really like keep up with it. I'm really bad at that. I'm not interested in submitting if that's what you're asking. I'm curious how it because I know I had a lot of friends of mine submitted. If you want to tell me how it works, yeah, go for it. I think it'll go ahead, yeah, because that'll be helpful to other people. So go for it. Hi, Rich. How you doing? Wow, that's crazy. 400 entries? So, like, does the whole team look it over? Or is it just the editors? Like, yeah, so go ahead and tell me about the process. That's wild. That's a lot of entries. I imagine there's like a fast process where there's like you look for like the basic things. They sort of like weasel stuff out, like weed stuff out, and then you go through and like look at the more detailed things. I would imagine that there would be that kind of process, especially as many submissions as AM gets, I'm sure. Right. They said, as far as I'm aware, it's mostly AM's PR and editor team, but some of the main mangaka sort of help Fred. Yeah, I know who Fred is. They know, I know who Fred is. Down to 60 people for round 2, where they do live interviews. Okay, live interviews make sense, yeah. So you can expand more on yourself as a person, your story. I got to know my friend directly, so he used her as an example. Oh, okay, okay. How did it feel having Fred there? I see, I see. Well, I mean, he is a co-founder of like a manga company, so I guess that makes sense. He probably understands like how nervous you're feeling and all that. So I would imagine, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I would hope he's that way. Can you imagine having like this person who just sits in front of you, who's like, "Hey, we're gonna talk about the manga." Like that would have been so scary. Like that, just have someone who's like short and almost like short-tempered and scary. I've had stuff like that happen where like especially at school where I would sit down, some of the teachers were really scary and they were like really short, almost like they were mad. And I'm like, bruh, I'm already nervous. Stop it. Maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had a good experience. That's always really important when people can have good experiences like that. Especially if it can like lead to other opportunities, networking, like that kind of stuff is really important to be able to have and offer people who are interested in working with you. Oh yeah, like I expected it. That's why like I was so scared with like having the wrong portfolios. I expected to get my butt chewed. Like I expected to hear it. And I was like, that's why I almost left. Like I almost just got out from my portfolio review and left. Like without even talking to them because I was afraid it was gonna go that bad. But I'm really glad I stayed now, obviously. After they narrowed down from 60 to the final 20, they assign us an editor to work with. Editor for what? What are like? Do you do do you do spec work? Do they have you do spec work? Because I don't know if I could do that. I don't like if that's the case. I do not do spec work. I don't care who. Well, maybe I might care. I have such like a negative history with spec work. Using your pitch? Oh, okay. Yo, that's cool. So they actually give you the opportunity to like do it with them so that you guys can like get to know each other. Yo, that actually is pretty cool. See, like in the past when like I've been offered spec work, it was always you're gonna do it with our story. And I was like, what? No. That's cool. They actually like give you that opportunity. That's cool. So for me, I showed Austin my pitch. We workshopped a bit. I drew some of the thumbnails, took it back, we workshopped it, and I got the go ahead. Nice. Oh, I bet. I'll bet that was like nerve wracking, but like the exciting, good kind of nerve wracking. I bet. Oh god, I hate color. I hate working in color. That would be a nightmare for me. I despise working in color. There's a reason why I chose manga, black and white. I know why you need to do color, but like, damn. I hate working in color. But your editor who fights for your page counts. Oh nice, 20 pages. Oh yeah. I write all of my scripts based on 16. So I imagine a lot of the the mangaka that's like submit are like, I have this 50-page chapter 1 and it's gonna be awesome, and they're all like, ha 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 ha. That's funny. That was part of the feedback that I got too, was to like prepare it down to like 16 pages, 16 to 20, and then if you get to go ahead for longer, then you can add more to it. Because you can always add to a one-shot, but it can be harder to take it away if you've like prepared it to be 50 pages. So always prepare a shorter pitch. Exactly, yeah. Start with something shorter and then add to it if you want to, but like don't start with a big one. So that's why my chapter 1 now is down to, I think it's 18 pages. I think. Let me check. I don't even remember. Let's see. I want to see how many pages I have. I'm pretty sure it's 18. Let's see. Counting, let's see. Interiors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 if you count the outer cover. But if it's just interiors, then it's 16. Miso! Sorry, you might hear my cat. She's noisy. Yeah. 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 What is it, Miso? Oh, careful, you're gonna fall. Over. Oh. You're just asking to fall off, Miso. Like, I've had to, like, hold your bed and you from falling, like, twice in the last 30 seconds. What? What? What, Miso? Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Aw, you want pets? See if I can get you guys some cat purring ASMR that nobody asked for. Maybe. She's not being very loud right now. Even I can barely hear it. Miso, 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 miso. Sorry, my cat has demanded attention. I'm gonna give her a minute. Miso, my pretty girl. What? Yeah? You want some chest scritches? Oh, is that what you wanted? She's a very, like, people cat. She likes people. And so, like, she likes being pet and picked up, and she's a very unusual cat as far as, like, people skills. Miso, miso, miso. I'll have to show you guys a photo of my cat. Alright, you all done, Miso? Yeah? Yeah, she's a people cat. Let me show you guys a photo of her. Miso! You can't stand here. Miso, you cannot stand there, hun. You're not my real mom. You can't tell me what to do. Yeah, Miso very much loves to be snuggled and held. Like, look at this. Would you stop eating my bread? She's also a bread fiend. She loves bread. Oh, it's upside down. It's okay. Look at this cat. Look at this cat. She's a snuggler. She loves to, like, sit with me while I'm working. Let me see. There's another photo here somewhere. There we go. Here's another one. Where she has to, like, be touching me when she sleeps. That's her little bed there. So. Yeah, she's very much like a, so eepy. I have so many photos of my cat sleeping. I think I am like most people, or I can say that. She's a this one time, oh, it's rotated. This one time I was working, and I looked between my laptop and my main monitor, and she was sleeping on the bed, and I went, oh my god. So, she's very, very eepy. I have a tiny little studio, so, like, it's not a very big space. So, like, my desk is literally, like, 5 feet away from my bed. So, yeah, she's very cute. I probably will have to redraw this one, because I didn't know what face I wanted to put on it, so I just drew something. Because I don't want something too similar to the two that I already have. So I'll wait on this one. Because I may change the, you know what, I'll probably do a different facing one. So I'll skip that for now. I'll come back to it, because I'm going to have to redraw it so that it faces to the right. That way I get, like, another angle on his face. So I'll wait on that. I don't feel like sketching right now. that's a really bad tangent. I have a picture of one of my cats sleeping in my bed with his head on the bed. Oh, that's so cute. I love cats. They're so good. Good boys and girls. She's now sleeping on my hallway rug for some reason. I hesitate to call it a hallway. It's literally the path. It's like the 5-foot path from my door to the kitchen. Let's call it the hallway, because it's a little bit of a hall. It's like 4 feet of wall on either side. Maybe 4 feet, maybe 3 feet. If 4, if I'm being generous. Tiny little studio. I love dogs. I love dogs. Dogs are awesome. But dogs also, like, don't do well in studio apartments. So I'm not gonna put a dog through that. You know what I mean? I need this. Right, the upper wave is on the side of his leg. Alright, let's liquefy. Yeah, my cats have always been pretty chill. I did have one, though, that was kind of rambunctious, always getting into trouble. You know the type. Whoa! That was way too strong. It's a little too strong. There we go. Alright, and then I'll fix this in a minute because I'm going to have to break some of it apart. Make it look like it actually folded there. Ooh, that's a bad tangent. Yeah. Oh, I never finished the hand. The hand? Screw hands. I don't want to draw hands. Hands are for weirdos who like punishing themselves. Just make his nails like super long, like wah. What, Miso? Miso, my gosh, baby. You just jumped down a minute ago. What do you want, babe? What is it? You want to be back up here? Okay. There you go. There you go. Oh, but see, I don't understand gestures. So for me, they don't mean anything. They're just blobs. They don't mean anything to me. When you don't understand body language, they don't mean anything. Miso, not now, hun. Stop it. I love you, but please stop. Please stop it. I know. You just want some cuddles. I know. Don't bite me. It's not nice. She's doing like her love bites, but she's kind of doing zoomies too, so she's biting a little too hard. You know, cats bite a little too hard sometimes. Well, they're just playing, so like she doesn't mean it, but it's like, girl, that hurts. I also can't use my own hands. Also can't use my own hands as reference because my hands hyperextend. And so, like, for example, like you know, like when you go to like point at something, you know, like your hand basically will do this. Like it's mostly straight. Mine doesn't. When I try to straighten my fingers, like here's my knuckle, it goes like this. When I try to point at something, like this is what my hands do. So like I can't use my own hands. Like I can't even point at something because my knuckles just bend down like that. Or like my first knuckle joint and all of my fingers except my thumb. And I can overextend my thumb too. So like, you know, so like here's your thumb and it comes up. Mine can go. So like I don't know what's normal. I don't know what like normal people's bodies can do. And so when people like, just use your hands. I'm like, okay. And then I draw them all disjointed and they go, what the heck? I'm like, yeah, look at my fingers don't bend right. Yeah, I can do the same thing with my knees. Like so like, here. So like, you know, regular knee, right? Comes down this way. You know, like your regular leg, right? Mine can go like, eh. I can actually bend it in pretty far. But I mean, it's still straight, right? Like it's still a straight leg. Like it's naturally gonna look like this way a little bit. Mine can actually bend the wrong way. I can put my feet together and put my palms, so put my feet together flat on the floor, and I can put my palm, the palm of my hand. It's not my bones, it's my joints. I just have like, you're not supposed to overextend them, but it just happens naturally. So, and it's also really dangerous because like the reasons why most bodies don't overextend is it's a safety measure. And if your body can't protect yourself from overextending, you can overextend it to the point where it causes damage. And that's what happened with my drawing arm, like in my elbow. I forget which bone it is. One of my bones in my right elbow gets disjointed dislocated really easily. Because there's nothing there to protect it. So like the joint is really messed up now and it's hard for me to like draw at full capacity now is because my arm is just messed up all the time. So I always have to like be really careful when I'm drawing hands to make sure I'm drawing something that looks normal. I'm like, does this look normal? And I mean, many times am I gonna get the opportunity to draw something that's dislocated? Let's be real. Probably not often. Okay, the thumb here is a little too extreme. That's okay. We fix. It's not like foreshortened at all. Is it normal that our thumb can bend that much? No, it's not. Okay, thumb. Okay, well, my thumb can. Okay, maybe it's the angle. Maybe try to do it with my own hand. Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? This would be different. This would be a foreshortened thumb, actually, most likely. Trying to like not overextend it by mistake, and that's what's really hard. Is like my hand just like naturally overextends on its own. I don't have to do anything. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's a bad tangent. Just move it down a tiny bit. Yeah. It's okay. They said it only has to be a sketch, so that's fine. Let's see. Oh, you said my biggest problem is having cats in the room as they love to zoom across my desk and knock all my sound equipment. Yep, Miso does that. You probably heard me telling Miso to get off my desk because she does that too. She's like, "Hey, Hillman, like here I am. I'm gonna eat all your snacks." I'm like, Miso, you probably aren't gonna like the sweet potato, so sorry, hun. Meh. She's like, "Human, leave me alone." I found these dried sweet potato snacks. Oh my god, they're so good. They're so good. It's sweet potato, Miso. You're not gonna like it. Weirdo. Let me eat my sweet potato. If I can get it out. I can't get it out of the package. Good enough. You know what? I'll deal with it later. I think it's too big. It's too, like, I tried to, like, make it bigger because, you know, like, foreshortening and stuff. Let's see. Let's try again. I'll get it right eventually. Let's try. I think the lines are too thick. It'll be alright. I need to, like, leave it and then come back to it. And I'll be able to work it out. Sometimes it's better to leave it and then come back to it. This is also a little thick here. And also, like, sometimes you just gotta suggest the form rather than draw it perfectly, so. That's really what matters, I guess. redraw it later. I'm not gonna let just the thumb hold me back from finishing everything else. Oh man, yeah. Folding clothes? Yeah. Folds and clothes are really hard. Sorry guys, you need some ASMR. I apologize. Trying to get the sweet potato out, but it's stuck in there really good. Sweet potato. It's like candied sweet potato. Best way I can describe it. Or like you know, like Fruit Leathers, but sweet potato. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those things that's just not your time, not worth worrying about. Well, also, like, the pitch itself says sketches are fine. So, if I work harder, if I can work smarter. I don't actually made my phone turn on. What's up? Oh, that's from work. What's up? Oh, that's an issue. Oh, it's raining outside. Alright, cool. I don't have to do anything on Monday. Okay, it was just my boss reminding me to take time off. Go wash. Okay. Alright, sorry guys. I wanted to make sure he knew I'd seen that message. Dun, 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 dun. Man, you guys know what I really want right now? A soda. But I'm not drinking soda anymore. Oopsie. Sorry, my water bottle. I really want soda right now, though. Like, really badly. Like, I almost want it bad enough to go to the store just for it. Haven't had one in a while. Yeah. I bought some tteokbokki. Let me write that one out for you. Potato Bookie, I really like it. It's really good. And the place down the street, they literally close and like they stop taking orders in 10 minutes. So I'm not gonna bother. But they make that and they have like a gluten-free version of it. It's so good. It's so good. It's literally within walking distance. I could walk there. But I have some gluten-free rice cakes here at home. I literally bought some while I was out of the store today. Right? I can't do spicy though. I have to avoid spicy foods because of my nightshade intolerance. But I do like it. Raboki? I don't know what that one is. I think I know what it is, but let me check. Yes! Yep, with the noodles, yeah. I can't have it, unfortunately, because of the... Well, unless there's, like, a gluten-free noodle. I could have it with a gluten-free noodle, like a rice noodle. That's a good idea. I should try it with a rice noodle. Yo, this looks really good. Asian food in general is really hard for me because of celiac disease. And like, it's everywhere. Like, gluten is everywhere in Asian cuisine. Because, like, this any brown sauce, unless it's like, specifically like tamari or like soy only soy sauce, and a lot of soy sauce is not soy only. It also has wheat in it. But yeah, that sounds really good. I have some rice noodles. I might make that tonight. Thank you for the dinner idea. So I was just gonna make tteokbokki with like nothing else. This like the eggs. What I was gonna do chicken with like hard boiled eggs, onions, carrots, and gobble, the burdock root. But I'll add some noodles to it. I'll try that. Because I have rice noodles. Because I've had it also with potato noodles, and that was really good. Like the potato glass noodles. Those are gluten-free, and they're delicious. And it adds such a weird texture, because like you have the texture of the tteokbokki, and then you have the glass noodle texture. That's different. Let me tell you. If you've not tried it with glass noodles, you should. It was really good. I usually, when I make it with the glass noodles, I'll pair it with beef. I don't think so. That doesn't sound familiar. Maybe I have and I just don't know the name. I don't think so. No, I haven't had it because I believe this is not gluten-free. And I don't think I've had a gluten-free version of it. Yeah, surimi. It has surimi and breadcrumbs. I can't have it. I technically can't have potato either, but that doesn't stop me. I can't give up all starches. But I'd rather have like a little bit of potato than a bunch of wheat. That's something I would definitely try though. If I can find a gluten-free version of it, I will definitely try it. It looks good. What's the texture like? Yeah, I have, let's see, limitations are wheat, rye. I just avoid all oats just to be safe because I find that I can't trust them. Barley. Spelled it wrong. Barley, peppers, and that includes plus spices, any spices made from them. Tomatoes. Eggplant. Can't have that. Looks like eggplant. Eggplant. Potato. Goji berries. What else is on the no list? Mangoes. Apples. Pears. And cherries. This is the no list. I like octopus though. If it's cooked the right way, it'll be like kinda like not crispy on the outside, but you know what I mean? Like it's snappy on the outside. And it'll be like almost like shrimp. Like, you know how shrimp gets kind of snappy almost in texture? If the octopus is cooked right, it turns into that. And that's awesome. I broke his leg. Look at his foot. Oh my gosh, cat. He was fine 5 minutes ago. Oh, raw octopus? Okay, yeah. Big difference. Just a little bit of difference. I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with you then. Yeah, chewy, super chewy octopus? No, not a fan. Let's see. Dun, dun. I think it's a little bit to the side would look fine. It would look reasonable. I hope this looks better. Oh, give me the right layer. Alright, now let's actually form this, rather than just have it be the sketch. Okay, so this would go in slightly. This is here, this comes down here. Here's the... Ooh, oh, I see the problem. Okay, I see the issue. Okay, I see the problem. No, I didn't mean to grab that much. The top of the foot is like literally where the ankle is. That's not gonna work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this angle needs to be changed. Alright, I'm gonna try to reconstruct this here. So here's this. Okay, this is... Oh, that's a different layer. That's why it didn't move. This comes in, out. You know what I also don't like drawing? Shoes. I literally have 3 pairs of shoes. I have 1 pair of tennis shoes, I have a set of sandals, and then I have a set of flip flops. That's all I got. I don't get the obsession with shoes. Some people just really like drawing shoes, I guess. Suspicious. It's mostly the silhouette. I have to get it right because it's a black shoe. Yeah, there's some people out there that can draw shoes, like, suspiciously well. It's so cool. I guess I didn't really wear shoes that much as a kid. Like, I'm gonna be, like, straight with y'all. Like, I was the kid that always took my shoes off as soon as I got home and then ran outside. That was me. I was the kid that you couldn't keep shoes on. Man, y'all, I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry. Let's see here. I got about at least a half hour left. And then I might keep going. We'll see. Well, I hope this body doubling is helping you, Lychee. So, in the end, what happened with Saturday? Like, I'm gonna be honest, I've only, like, started following you recently, so I apologize. I've not known your work for very long. How did it go? I'm very sorry if that sounds, like, really callous and, like, but you're really cool, like, I promise. Like, I don't, I just don't know. I haven't followed you that long. I'm kind of like a new follower, so. Please tell me about yourself. Introduce yourself to the class. The class of 1. Man, it's getting cold in here. Nice. So, like, with the summer of manga, does that mean, like, someone gets picked up? Like, is that the end goal? Yeah, one of my friends works for Saturday under White. He does like assistant work for him. me make sure they're all in the right folder. Something's on the right folder. Do I like coffee? No, that's a great question. That's a great question. Don't worry about that. I like some coffee. I'm really picky about my coffee. Because I'm not a huge coffee fan. I prefer tea. But I do like coffee. My favorite coffee is a lavender vanilla latte, which I know technically is more cream and sugar than coffee. But it's a lavender vanilla latte. Oh, and a white chocolate mocha. I do enjoy a vanilla lavender or lavender vanilla latte. It is good. It is so good. I didn't think lavender and coffee would go well together. Wow. It was really good. Alright, let's do some fill-ins. Fill-ins! Come on. Oh, I mean, that's not what I wanted, but okay. Come on, brush. Work with me, brush. Work with me. Boop, 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 boop. Got hiccups there for a second, goodness. Yeah, definitely try it. Definitely recommend. Sometimes I will go out just for that. Because I'm like, you know what? I need some coffee. I don't usually go out just for that, but sometimes I will. I love tea more than coffee, though. My favorite tea is probably sage, specifically Grecian sage. I forget which type it is. I'd have to look it up. Grecian sage with some honey, or prickly pear are my favorites. Oh, clover. Clover is really good too. Clover is really nice. Clover, and hibiscus. Hibiscus is basically cranberry. Like flavor-wise. Ooh, chrysanthemum is really good too. That's a really good one. I knew chrysanthemum white jasmine tea, and that was really good. Maybe I'll just leave this empty and I'll put information in here. see. I didn't like tea when I tried it, but maybe I'll give it another go. You wanna know something funny, actually? I never finished watching your Komawani video. Oh! Really? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'd seen your name come up a few times. And like I always had liked the artwork. Like I think you came up because like someone I follows you and was like retweeting you. So that was how you came up in my feed. And like I'd seen your art come by a few times. I think like every time I'd seen it, I'd liked it. And I go, oh, I like their stuff. I should probably follow them. You just kept coming up in my feed, and I'm like, whoa, who is this person? Are they following me? Meaning like following me, like, are they stalking me? Because I'm like, this person keeps coming up in my feed. Which I know you're not. I'm just joking. Please tell me I said that to Gray. Okay, good, I did. Good, this makes this easier. You're not doing your job, bruh. Oh, because it's not in there. Okay, well now that'll hopefully behave now. Destiny. A moment like this, some people wait forever for that one special kiss. Whoa, that's gray. What? I don't want gray, I want black. Thank you. Jeez. I love doctoring my own artwork. Just kidding. No, I don't. It's stressful. Was the video helpful? I feel like it was too much at once. My watch retention on it is actually pretty bad. So I'm thinking that it was too much information too fast for people. So what I'll probably do is I'll break it up into even smaller parts. So it's a way it can like focus on certain things. So if you have any feedback on the video, like that would be super duper appreciated, but like don't feel like you have to. Because I'll probably go over and like break it down into smaller chunks. Because clearly I didn't present it in an interesting way. Or I'm just not entertaining to watch. Which is highly possible for both. But I also already knew most of it beyond the specific term, so I might not be the best person to ask. That's fair. Yeah, that's alright. Thank you. I still appreciate it. Appreciate the honesty. It's hard because, like, I don't know how many people already know those things. Or, like, they know the concepts, but they don't know the words for them. Yeah, and, like, I gave I had a panel at San Diego about like that very topic, and a lot of people were like, oh, I wish I could have been there, and then like I make the video for it and they're like, oh no. So I'm like, well, I didn't do something right. So clearly I need to change my approach. Which is fine. I don't mind. That's how you become a better YouTuber. I need to like add fun stuff into my streams too, because my streams are pretty boring. I don't like streaming on Twitch that much. I probably have a brush that I could use for this. I think your streams are pretty fun, but I get overstimulated. That's fair. No, that's perfectly fair. Thanks for the honesty. It's hard to know sometimes because, you know, artists are, they're a fickle group, and a lot of us have neurodivergencies, you know, so it's always hard to know, like, how to present something, because I know that a lot of people get overwhelmed pretty easily as artists. That's, you know, a lot of us do. So trying to figure out like how to present that information in a way that people feel better about engaging with is something that like I really care about. Plus, like, you know, I do community management, so like it's really important for me to be able to communicate with people well. So it's all helpful information, so. Well, I mean, it's literally my job to help, like, teach people. So I want to be sure I can do that, you know? I gotta change that font out for the new font that I'm using. Oh, and I have to redraw Aros in his new outfit too. Yeah, literally one of my jobs at Global Comics is to provide educational content to people. So, you know, in addition to like being on the community support team, so like knowing how to do that is really, really important. So anytime I can get feedback from people, that's great. Or just stuff that maybe I've just not thought about. But when people I talk to don't take critique as well as you. Yeah, I think it can be an experience thing. It can be an experience thing. It could be an ego thing. It could also be that they just weren't prepared for it. I've had times, like, I'm a human being, so I'm not perfect. I've had times where I was not prepared to take a critique. I was not in the headspace for it. I wasn't ready for it, and it was completely, like, inappropriate and blindsided. Like, or I was completely blindsided by it, and it was inappropriate to give a feedback piece of critique at that time, and I didn't react well. So I'm not perfect. I react badly to things sometimes. But, you know, I feel like with the experience of doing community work, I've learned to be better about that. And ultimately, you're going to get feedback whether you want it or not. That's just a thing that's going to happen. And if it happens, you should have a plan for it. So you can, actually, I'm just going to fill all of this in with white rather than, like, and I'll just redraw him. I'll just redraw it. Sometimes it's better to start from scratch. But yeah, it probably is to some degree an experience thing. But sometimes, like, there are people that you know, it may not be a good time to give feedback, or they're not ready for it, or they didn't ask for it. You know, any one of those things can hurt someone and cause them to react in a negative way. So whenever I'm off getting ready to offer feedback to someone, I always try to consider that. Like, would I want feedback in the situation? And I'm not perfect. Sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, it'll be fine, and then they don't react well. I'm like, well, maybe that wasn't the right time for it. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it's just easier to start over. Uh-oh. Are you guys having drop in frames? Alright, cool. I just wanted to double check because it was telling me about drop frames. So I just wanted to kind of check it. You know what I really want to listen to is the game Okami. Like, I just want to listen to the Okami OST really bad. I think it's because it has like energy to it. I think that's why. That's my personal theory. I need to study this joint better. So it's confusing me. Wait, is this the one that... Yeah, it's this arm. I'm right. Wait, no, it's not. It's the other arm. This is the one that has the wrap on it. Suddenly I forgot what armor I was working with. That turned out wonky. You would think I could trace my own artwork. You would think. You would be wrong. Let's see, maybe if the game doesn't resonate with you, the music will. See, I can't play a game just for music. I can't. And, like, I don't play games that much either. I'm not a game person. I don't care about games. There's really only one game that I get excited to... Okay, there's two. There's two games I get excited to play. And that's the original Pokemon games and Okami. Other than that, I just don't care. And it's not that I've tried. Okay, I lied. I do like Ark Survival Evolved. But I don't like playing it with other people. Because I'm a casual player, I'm not like someone who checks in every single day. Like when I was playing, I was checking in like maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and that was it. And it wasn't for very long. It was like just to make sure like my Giga wasn't going around destroying stuff. But like I got stopped playing one day, and I just never went back. And I'm sure I've lost all my dinos, and my Giga has destroyed everything. I add gaps between each cluster of lines, and I only do clusters in... no, I don't get that specific. The only maybe me thing that I do is I draw like white on top of my lines. Trying to think of a page I can show you that explains that. So I have this weird thing that I've kind of always done in my artwork. I don't know if it's unusual, but I've always done it. Trying to think of a page that will show you that. I'm sure there's something in my chapter 1 that does. Let me dig through my pages and find a good example. Because I notice a lot of mangaka don't do this. But for some strange reason, I do it a lot. I don't really have, like, specific things that I do, though. At least, I don't think so. Well, this is one, this might be an example, and then let me get a different one. Just trying to find a page that has an example of it. Like, that's like a really obvious example of it. That's probably a good one, and then, another good example would be the page with Hawk in it, I think. It's not as good an example as I thought it was. This is a good example. So, like, one of the things, is I overdo my backgrounds, like, a lot. You know, like, I really, really, really enjoyed doing backgrounds, and I will detail the backgrounds way more detailed than I will the characters. And I think part of that comes from my enjoyment of doing backgrounds. I've, like, the 90% of the brushes that I have are only for backgrounds. So I do a lot of, like, drawing with white, which I don't really see a lot of mangaka doing. They don't draw with white that much. So for example, like in here, the plants here, this is a low-res version, I'm sorry. Like, in here, like, I drew the plants with white. These were drawn with white. This here was drawn with white. There's no lines, it's only the shading to really, like, help you define the form. I do that a lot. Same here with, like, the leaves here. You know, another example might be, I think that's all that's in this one. But, like, I love doing backgrounds way more than I love doing characters. And I guess I thought it would work because, like, with anime, the backgrounds tend to look, like, semi-realistic. Or they're painted, and so they look really, really detailed. And so I thought that'd be okay if I did the same for my manga. I'm like, if the backgrounds are really detailed, then it'll look fine, because that's how anime is done, right? Let's see, this is like a better version of it. You see how, like, with my liner, I'll go around, and I'll draw on top of, or I'll draw like around my, like that's hand drawn around my line arts. I manually do that because I want it to look like it's my line art. And like, I guess I could use the, I guess I could just like select the liner layer and like go fill in with white, but I want it to be sort of an outline of my line art. And I did the same thing with the wings. You know, like some of the areas, you know, like they have like regular line art here, but like I redrew it completely with white. And you can see it a lot with Aros here. And you can see where I had like, you know, a lot of, you know, like I just mainly came in and sketched this out, but I also did a lot of details like in here. And a lot of mangaka that I see, they just fill it with gray, or they'll do like a screen tone effect here. I like showing how full someone's hair is. As much as I love the simplicity of like just solid blacks with no white, I love how it looks. Like Yu Yu Hakusho does it really, really well, and it's one of my favorite manga. I've kind of always drawn with like white and black line art. And so it almost, like, I've had people say it almost looks painterly, even though like it's clearly manga and line art. Like here's another good example with Fall here. You can see where like I would go in and draw all of this. A lot of mangaka wouldn't come in and do this that I have seen. They wouldn't come in and detail all of like their hair and stuff. They would just leave it black. Because, you know, they're on a time crunch, right? So it makes perfect sense why they would do that. But something that I like to do is I draw a lot with white. To like emphasize it. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's weird, maybe. I don't know if that's a thing that people do, but that's what I like to do. That's why you'll see me draw with white like all the time when I'm doing my pages. Let me see if I have another like good example. Oh, here's a great example. This is a fantastic example. The water. That's like from far out it looks like it's a tone. It's not a tone. That's manual white lines done. That's all manual. Kind of just going in and throwing all that in there. Yeah, and like with the grass, just go in with white. Like don't go in and like line everything, just draw with white. And even then, I still went in and drew like with white lines, like on top of my characters. So, I don't know if that's unusual. I don't know if that's like a weird thing that people do, but I like doing it. Oh, I don't know what this is. That shouldn't be there. I don't actually know where I got it from. I only read as far as, in the manga, I read up to the point where Sasuke leaves for the first time, and then I stopped reading. To be honest, I probably should read more manga than I do. I really can't say that I'm purposely trying to, like, emulate anyone's style, or, like, I can tell you who I got it from. I actually got it from a painter. Her name is, well, she does mostly, like, painting style work. Her name is, Nuke Rooster. She was, like, she's a former roommate of mine. But she does beautiful, beautiful paintings. And I saw her doing it, and so that's where I got it from. It's from a friend who's a painter. Yeah, that's the only thing I can really think of that I do. That's, like, mine. Or if you meant, like, consistently that I do, that's like a style quirk. I can't think of anything. I don't really intentionally do anything the same way twice. I don't hold myself to that. And I think that's because I don't mind if the style evolves naturally over time, because it's going to. And to me, if you're not trying new things, you're not growing, and I would rather not press those limitations on myself. So that I can be sure that I'm willing to try new things, I'm willing to try new techniques, and I don't feel like, oh, I have to do it this way every single time. I have never intentionally tried to draw something the same way twice. I've never done that. other than like character consistency so that it looks like the same character, like that's the extent that I've done that. But as far as anything else, I've never done anything the same way twice. For me, I think the way that I think it would hold me back, because then I would feel like I'm not growing, and that would get stressed and anxious. So I don't do anything like that. I don't think it's necessarily holding anyone back. I just think for the way that I work, it wouldn't work for me. I mean, maybe I have style quirks and I just can't see them. Because, you know, we get used to seeing our own work. So maybe I do have a style quirk and I just don't know it. Okay, I do know another one. Sometimes, well, most of the time, what I'll do is when I'm doing my line art, I will line something twice. Or what I'll do is I'll do like a flat line, like this one. And then I'll go in with a brush like this. And then get these really, really nice, you know, like thick to thin lines. I'll do like my thin line art first and then I'll go in and go over it, but I think that's normal. A lot of people do that. So I don't see that as weird. Well, that makes sense, yeah. I don't see it as necessarily like, I don't think that would prevent me from going in line over line. Personally. I don't think that would work on me. I don't think it wouldn't work on me. But that's a good reason. That makes perfect sense. That's good though that you have like those measures in place for yourself. Dang it. I guess I want my art to be free to change as I grow too, so I don't bother limiting it in any way. Let's see. For me, it keeps me. I don't like the look of digital brushes. It helps me make the results. That's fair. Yeah, you can definitely overdo it sometimes. Now, see, that's the other thing that I do is I still consistently draw on paper. I make time for it so that I don't have that problem. Or that I don't like forget how to draw traditionally, because everything I learned traditionally. I didn't start drawing digitally until 2021 as far as like drawing manga digitally. Before that it was all traditional because I didn't want to like give up my I didn't want to like give up my look. I was afraid if I started working digitally I'd lose my look. And it's taken some time to like find the right brushes for me to help get me the look that I had. Let's see. Let me see if I can find some of my traditional inking. I don't know if I have any saved. Oh, I know one I can show you guys. Okay, I gotta go to my Dropbox really fast. I'm gonna take a break for my hands, guys, so I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna go grab this one. If I can find it. I think it's a personal art, fan art. No. It's Orochi. Maybe it's in... Oh, I still have this one. Nice. Oh, this is really small. it's not. This is pretty old, but you'll get the idea. So, yeah, it's the low-res version, but this is all done traditionally. You know, like, I like doing traditional inking, and you can definitely see what I mean with the white, like, in here. Like, in this area, you can see it. Same thing here. A lot of this is a white brush on top of black. Same thing in here. It's a white brush on top. So yeah. This is like 2016, I think. That's one of them, I guess. Trying to find the Orochi one that I did. I bet I can go into I can go into my all files. I can probably type in Orochi and find it. Yeah, let me just get the big version. Because I have a couple versions that are the small ones. Here we go. Here's the full res version. Yeah, this is it. There we go. So this was a piece I was working on that was like 11 by 17. No, it was 17 by 22 because it was a double spread. It was a 2-page spread. So like I loved it, and this was like obviously never finished. So like I didn't actually get to go in and like clean a lot of it up, you know. But like the bill was almost done. I just didn't get to go in and put in the whites. You can see I had like just started putting in the whites right here. But yeah, this one was I think one of the almost done ones. But yeah, like I like inking traditionally. I think it's really fun. I just stopped doing it one day because I got tired of having to carry around all my supplies all the time. And I ended up having to work 2 jobs at one point, so it wasn't easy for me to carry all of this stuff around all the time. So I stopped. And I just never finished this. Never finished it. I'd love to redo it though. Especially, I believe, Okami's anniversary is coming up. Like, it's, 20-year anniversary is coming up really soon, I think. Yeah, 2026 will be its 20th anniversary. So I want to, like, have, like, a really cool art piece for it. So I'll probably redo this one. Yeah, I used the deleter paper. Like one of my older versions is done on deleter paper. I've got those in here. Let's see. Not Global Comics. Godsbane. Would you stop moving around on me? Let's see. I need Godsbane files. Blah, 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 old pages. Pilot? Yeah, here we go. Oh my goodness. I don't even, this is when I did it this way. This was so dumb. I don't know why I did it this way. I think 32 was one of my favorite pages. No, it was not 32. Was it 19 then? No. I don't even remember which pages were my favorite now. Okay, here's one of them. Okay, thank goodness I finally found one. If I can find the one that's not clipped. Oh, that's the raw scan. It's like a 600 DPI scan. Oh wow, this is old school ROs. Bum, 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 bum. I think this is the big one. Where's the ones where I used to freaking like do it? Like I used to screen tone it by hand. I can't find those anymore. Well, you know, I think that's, yeah, 2016-17, that was when I did it by hand. Let's see, sort. Trying to find one, like a page that had like the original. Oh my gosh, it's my thesis version. What? It's my thesis version. When I was in college. So much trauma. Bum, bum. Oh, I was looking for that fan art. I was looking for that. Okay, this is weird. Like, that's one of the pages that I need, but why is it the small flat version in here? This is... Oh, this is the sort folder. This is the sort folder. This is the... Everything else just goes in here because it doesn't mean anything. Well, do I have it put in my thesis folder for some reason? DA thesis, thesis single pages, no. It should have been in my pilot 2016 folder. I wonder if I put it in my 2018 folder by mistake. No? Is it in the 2017 folder? Obviously I put this in the wrong folder, you guys. See, this is why you should organize your stuff. I love that fan art. I remember that. Oh, I remember that. It's title folder. Okay. Oh, that's the weird version that I did. That's technically 2019. I don't know why that's in here. Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! This is a good example. Okay, so I was inking some pages for a test for image that never got anywhere. Yeah, this was like me starting to ink a page. See, that's why I purposely quit freelancing. This was on like standard comic paper. This was an X panel or an X page. They wanted me to ink it, and I just didn't finish it. Hey Twan, what's up? Yeah, I was having a lot of fun inking this. This was really fun stuff. I definitely could do a better job now because I can control myself better. And I can hatch way better now. But I never finished it, unfortunately. Look at this barrel. Go me. Yeah. Never finished it. Unfortunately. But yeah, I like traditional inking, but I don't have space to store all that stuff. I move too much. I don't want to be carrying around this stuff with me. Well, I never submitted it, unfortunately. I actually got really discouraged and felt like it wouldn't have mattered if I submitted it, so I never did. Well, I got discouraged from other people. Oh yeah, I became homeless, so I stopped working on it. I've had to find other things to do. Because right after I got back from a vacation with my family from my family, we went to Wyoming. I got kicked out. I got told to leave. And that set me. Yeah, that was really rough after that. For quite a long time. It took me a really long time to recover after that. That's okay. It's alright. They say the best revenge is thriving, isn't it? How you doing, Twan? It's alright. I'll get the last laugh from my family, so I'll get the last laugh. It's all good. I mean, it kind of does bother me, but it is what it is. I can't, like crying about it ain't gonna change nothing, so. Oh, I don't know why I drew that there. I think it's his old outfit, his previous one. Hey, JB, what's up? The usual? Well, that's better than bad, so I'll take it. Any day that ends up good is a good day. Duh. But sometimes you just gotta say it out loud. Sometimes you just gotta say it out loud anyway. What you working on? This is a body double session after all. Actually, let me just go ahead and fill this in. Let me just go ahead and fill these pants in. We'll get to see what it actually will look like. Boop. Let's see. Boop. Okay, you know what? I have something for you, Lychee, now. Something that I do. I make sound effects when I draw. I do. I do the boop. I do that sound a lot. That's probably something that's a little weird. That's my answer for you. I said here, make sound effects as I do my drawings. Oh, and I'm stupid and like fill in all my lines instead of just using a tool to make it faster. And I need to get out of that habit. It's not a good habit to have. It'll make everything take longer. Miso, what was that? What? Miso Faye. Occasionally, you guys will hear me say boop, and that's just me drawing. That's my drawing sound effects. Yeah? What is it, Miso? You want to go lay on the couch? Did you guys hear her? You say hi, Miso? You want some squishies? You want some squishies, Miso? Squish, 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 squish. Yeah? You want some attention? Sorry, it's my cat. Squish, 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 squish. I need to get a webcam up so you guys can actually see her do this. It's hilarious. I've never seen a cat lay back like this for pets. Like, it's complete trust. She's on her back and everything. It's like complete trust. I've never seen a cat do this before. I'm sure there are cats that do it, but... Are you hungry, Miso? You need some tweets? Okay, I'm not the only one who does that then, so I feel a little bit better. I thought I was the only one that did that. Oof, starting to get tired. Starting to feel the fatigue set in. You know, it kind of bothers me now. I feel like I don't do anything that's different about, like, my art. I'm sure I do, but I can't think of anything that's, like, that I do consistently. I don't know if is that a bad thing? Make fake karate sounds? That's amazing. Whoosh. Pow! Bazinga! Yeah, so here's the white thing I was telling you about. I mean, I don't need to do that much of it because it's such a small panel, but... I do the Legend of Zelda open chest sound on my phone. On my phone when I get a notification, it does the found item sound from Pokemon, like the first generation games. So it goes ba ba da da ba ba ba. And then when someone calls, it plays the battle music. like a wild like like when you find a trainer out in the wild, it plays the trainer music. And then if anyone from my company calls, it plays the Elite Four music. And I have a few people that I have set up as Team Rocket, so it'll play the Team Rocket music. You can tell I don't like them. So I always know if it's a call from someone specifically I don't really want to answer. I've thought about also setting it up for anything marked as spam to have it be Team Rocket. So yeah, I had the Champion Lance song set as my alarm for the longest time, and it traumatized me so much that I don't like listening to this song anymore. Yeah. I used to have it as Okami. There was one time I was on the bus and someone recognized the sound from Okami. It was the clover sound, like ba-da-ba-ba. But it was like, like the clover sound. And someone was like, was that Okami? I'm like, yeah, I found a clover. So, they just happened to recognize it. It was really funny. Is there anything I missed? Oh yeah, the white wave. Miso, are you getting ready to do your zoomies? You know what I really want to do? I want to open a restaurant, and I want to set it to like a theme in a video game, if I could. And I wish so badly that I could just sit there and just play game music, so that when people enter, they don't know if they've entered a game. I think that would be so much fun. Just to start messing with people. I would definitely do that at Halloween. I'd be like, hey guys, what game do we want to dress up as this year? We're gonna do it. Okay, I think this panel is almost done. Other than some of the little details in here. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Ooh, that was really strong sneeze. I tried holding that one back and it just didn't work. Alright, let's take this white text out. Why is it not visible? My text isn't visible. What? What is going on here? Oh, it's the font. Okay, it's not invisible, it's just being silly. Oh. That's one thing I don't like about this particular font. I wonder if I can set up the settings so that the line spacing is consistent. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, look at that line spacing. Yikes. Wow, that's like, gotta be like 120 line spacing. I don't know if you guys can see this window. No, you guys can't see it. In case you're wondering, the magic number for moving it is 94. It's like the magic number for like adjusting line spacing. Ta-da! Let's see. Yeah, I changed it. Yeah, I do it all the time. Especially for this font. You just need to. A lot of the times for this one. I did a lettering seminar, and I've also lettered for a comic publisher in the UK. I also did their layout for print for that particular book. The same book that I lettered. Alright, now I need to add in the tone. Do 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 do. Miso. My babes. Yeah. What? What? plenty of food. You do not need more food. You're already getting close to becoming chunk level. You're 11 pounds, Miso. They don't want you getting any bigger than that. You're perfect right where you are. She's just a big cat. Though, like, 9 or 10 would be better, but they're okay with her at 11. It might be my wording, but does Clip Studio have text pathing functions like Photoshop does with its pen tool? Not that I'm aware of. You mean like outline text or like turn text to outlines? Is that what you mean? So that way it turns them into paths and nodes. Let me see. Or the like export text tool or outline text, something like that. Is that what you're asking about? Maybe it might. I'm gonna try something. I'm curious to see if that would work. Miso, honey. Alright, I'm gonna try something. Like how you can draw paths using the pen tool and then use a text tool. Oh! No. What? Oh! Draw on or write. I know what you're talking about now. Type on path Clip Studio. Can you curve text? Let me see. No, ma'am. No, you have to rasterize it first, unfortunately. Not that I'm seeing. Let me check. Let me check a resource bin really quick. No, you have to rasterize it first, so then you lose all your paths. So, no, you can't. Yeah, I figured I would double, because I know there's usually one place I could look on the internet that'll tell me something if I don't know something. Let me see if I can get, I'm pretty sure I can get lines. I think the closest I could get you would be like lines here, but then that wouldn't help you very much. Yeah, that's a bummer. Because that is a really cool tool. I love it. My only suggestion, okay, I might have a possible solution. Is it something that you would have consistently? Like, is it something you could turn into a ribbon brush, do you think? Because that could be a solution for you. Here, I'll show you. So, for example, that would be my only possible. So, like, if it's the same words every single time, you could do that. That would work for you. It wouldn't be perfect, but you could at least do it easily. Unfortunately, it would. I mean, it could still be a vector layer, but it wouldn't be like paths and like outline text the same way that it is now. So depending on what it is, there's a possible other solution. So for example, let me guide special curve ruler. So for example, here's my ruler, right? Let me put this on another layer. If I get like a ribbon brush, let me grab the one that has like weird text on it. So for example, like you could do something like this. And you would just have to like, you can rotate the brush in the brush settings. Like there's a way you can change it so that it'll like stay, like it's just the way that you have to build the brush. This one's built so that if you go like straight down, you could, a different example might be something like this. I mean, this is a pretty similar, but like it'll stay attached to it. And then the other one that I can show you as an example is my tassel brush. I have it set up so that it stays upright every time. So you could do something like that, but just replace each of these tassels with like letters. If it's like the same thing every time. And that way you can create your custom curve and then just like write along it. You know what I mean? That might be a possible solution. It wouldn't be a perfect solution, but it could be something. I'm trying to find that one line brush that I used for the ground, and I can't find the brush that I used. It's really sad because I liked that brush. It's gotta be in my ground. It's gotta be in the ground here somewhere. Oh, you're new to using Clip Studio. Which version are you using? Because, I mean, that also does make some difference. And, like, advice I can give you. Oh, you're still using version 1. Okay. Yeah, then the tools are a lot more limited. One thing I'm also going to warn you about is Clip Studio sometimes has problems with Comic Craft fonts. So, like, Comic Craft. You know, like how they have, like, the alternative lettering? Like the crossbar eye and, like, I call it the slash eye. Like, sometimes it won't recognize them, so I'll just show you. So, for example, I had to get a different font. I was originally using, like, Samaritan. I'll just show you. I originally wanted to use CC Samaritan. But it doesn't, oh, did I get... Where's my CC Samaritan? I didn't delete it, did I? That's weird. Did I delete it by accident? Oh, I just removed it from the manga list, that's why. Okay, so like CC Samaritan, I'll just show you. Because, you know, show don't tell. Like, I tried to use the crossbar eye and it doesn't do it. And like, if I go into the symbols, like if I click this icon, or sorry, this icon here, like the little pencil, and I go into it and I try to find it in the symbols, it'll show that it's the crossbar eye, but when I try to put it in, it's only the slash eye. It doesn't, or the bar eye, I think is what the technical word is, the bar eye. It doesn't actually do that. So I had to stop using CC Samaritan. And now I use a different one. I use, for like my regular writing, I use Cloud Spitter. So you can see, look, all I did was change it. I use Cloud Spitter, and Imagination. Yeah. So, yeah. For a while I was using Manly Men, because I mean I didn't mind how it looked, but I wanted something a little bit rougher, so that's why I grabbed these two. They're similar, but yeah. One's rougher and one's cleaner, so that's why I chose them. It's almost like they're a clean and rough version of each other. That's why I like them. Oh, this one's not usually bolded. There we go. Yeah, and then this one, just to make it like it always has to be bigger, just so that like it like fits the same space. So that's why I like it. Back issues is good. Back issues is a good one. No. Back issues is good. Yeah, Komika. The one that I really wanted was, let's see, Manga fonts. The one that I really wanted, let's see, dialogue fonts. No, Manga fonts. There was one that I wanted really badly, but it's Comic Craft, so I can't use it in Clip Studio. Let me get the name of it. Whoopsie. Yeah, it's Comic Craft, so it won't work for me if I try to use it. Blah, 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 blah. Let me find it. The one that I really liked was... Well, I mean, I also did, like, Might Makes Right. I almost picked that one for, like, my regular dialogue font. But I do also like Sequentialist. But the one that I wanted the most was Comic Crazy. I really wanted Comic Crazy. I thought that one was really nice. And then I wanted to get fighting words for, like, other fonts. Or for, like, Mao's voice. But I still have to find something I want to use for Mao. So I'm trying to, like, find something that works for him. Yeah. Because I don't think these two are different enough to, like, discern from, like, regular talking. I don't feel like they're different enough. So I need to find something that'll work for Mao. Because Mao, you know, like, let's see. High idea. Oopsie. So if I wanted something that was different, I could probably go with Manga Masters for him, maybe. Yeah. I guess I could also go with Augie. And I would just have to, like, they would just be the same. You know, they're different enough. That could theoretically work. Hey Shannon, what's up? How are you? Just talking about lettering. Trying to pick a font. I just got a new font. I like it, so. Got some new fonts today. The downside, though, is they don't have indie licenses. Neither of the two that I got have indie licenses, so I had to pay for both of them. That's okay. Meow. Miso. Did you just have a nice poop in your litter box now that you're spreading litter all over my floor? She looks away like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's so funny. You guys should have said something that you couldn't see what I was working on, because I had ROs down here for so long. You guys should have said something. I didn't realize my screen was cut off that far. Okay. Just smack me, guys. Just, like, let me know. Hey, I can't say nothing. You gotta tell me. Tell me like it is. Ah, dang it. That's not what I wanted. Ba, 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 ba. It's not showing. Oh, because it's probably not in here. Where is it? It's not even showing. Well then, we'll pick some different one. Use my paper textures. Yeah, I'm pretty sure paper is what I was using before. No, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. People will come and go in streams, so like, don't feel bad about it at all. This is honestly kind of normal for streams. I'm not a big YouTuber yet, so my streams still get quiet. So like, don't ever feel bad about like dominating a chat. Don't ever feel bad about that. I'm still new. I'm not the cool kid yet, so like, it's not an issue. If I had like 100 people in here, then and like you were dominating the chat, then it might have been an issue. But it's not. It's not an issue. You're good. How dare you have an opinion and want to share it? You see how silly it sounds? You're good, mate. You're good. I feel bad being so quiet, so I'm just like really focused. to see if I can get Oros to stand out some. I feel like I'm not that interesting to watch, so I'm sorry. I'm not like big into the whole like super happy, crazy, lots of crazy stuff going on streams. So. Yeah, well that, and I'm like, I'm not like a super big chatterbox either. Not when I'm like, I can be a chatterbox, but it's more often than not the case. Because, I mean, I am streaming to have fun, but ultimately I'm here to focus, too. So, yeah, basically. I think we did good. We'll be able to put in some information here. It depends on I'm gonna be honest, it depends on what's in the panel. If I have a panel that has like 3 characters in it, it's gonna take me substantially longer than one that has 1 character in it. I can tell you how long an average page takes me. That's usually a better estimate. 1 page typically takes me about 6 to 7 hours. It used to be like more like 8 to 10, but I've been able to like whittle it down to like 6 to 8. So a page on average is 6 to 8 hours, and if the average page has about 4 panels on it, that'd be about an hour and 30 minutes to a panel on average. If I'm able to focus. If I'm streaming, that goes out the window. But if I'm able to focus and I'm not doing anything else, then usually I can cut it down to a short amount of time. But when I'm streaming, there is no focus, because I'm here to talk to people. You know, like when I'm not streaming, I'm very quiet. I've had like on weekends, I'll go the whole day without saying a word, because I just don't talk. I'm just a quiet person. The same answer. Depends on the background. Something like, let's see, open recent. Something like this took me substantial. It didn't really take me that long. This one did. This bottom one did, just because I had to redo it. And I was really picky about it because this was like an all-image panel for me. So I was a little bit pickier about it than normal. But something like this, it wouldn't take me very long now, because I could probably just whip it out really fast. The big thing is just figuring out the composition, the lights and darks. The toning is what might take me a little while. Plus, so like what I'll do for a panel, like, let me close some of this stuff. So for example, with a page like this, these I can use as brushes, and then what I'll usually do is I'll have like a custom brush that I have set up to sort of help get these done faster, and then I'll erase and draw on top of custom brushes. So for example, with like this here, if I zoom in, you can kind of see, like, you can see that it's a brush, but what I did is I went in, I doubled it, and then placed the copy underneath and added a thicker line to it, so that on the outside it's got a thicker line. And then in here, it's the thinner line. I went in and I erased parts of it. And then I also went in with white. You can see I kind of came in and like deleted parts of it and drew on top of it so that it didn't quite match up all the time. Same thing with this here, this moss. It's actually a brush. You can actually see where some of my marks are custom marks, and then some of it is like the original texture. It's the same thing here with this moss brush. It's actually the same brush. But what I did is I went in and like the lines here, I'll draw them in red for you. Big brush. the lines here and here, and up here, like all of these hatching, like I threw in manually, and I added a couple more of the, like this, just to like make it not look like I just used the brush and then didn't do anything. And then sometimes after I draw stuff in, I'll go in with a texture and I'll erase with it. That way it creates a custom look every time. So I do speed the process up using custom brushes. This particular building here was a 3D model. And then I exported the lines, and then I drew on top of it, erased parts of it, added parts of it. That way it was different. The grass here is mostly custom brushes. And then I'll go in and like add random lines on my own, and I'll delete some. I'll draw with white, sort of like I did here and here. I'll draw with white. And then I came in and added this like screen tone. Like I drew some more bamboo in the back with a screen tone tool. And then down here, this bamboo leaf is a custom texture, but I came in and erased it to make it look more natural and not so perfect. Like, oh, none of the leaves are decaying, because when leaves fall on the ground, they decay. They don't just sit there in their whole perfect state, right? So, and you can see like some of the texture I've added here. It's like it really just kind of depends. Oh, I just realized this is a mistake. This should be filled in. This random like blades of grass that I added here. And then something like this. Basically all this is just me like selecting the space, filling it in with black, filling it in with black, you know, like select it up here, fill in with black, and then just go in with like a white brush and just and like delete parts of it. Yeah, and then like here, these are, this is actually, I think this is a brush that I use, like a hatching brush, just so I could get them perfect. And then I went in, you can see like some leaf textures here to like kind of erase it and make it look a little bit more natural. I think the thing with backgrounds that a lot of people don't realize is backgrounds are a character too. And just like any character, you have to decide if you, like, what you need to include. Oh yeah, I have lots of brushes. I probably have over 1,000 custom brushes. But the purpose of those brushes isn't to draw things for me, it's to start things for me. That's the only purpose I use behind them. There are almost no brushes that I use exactly as is, and then don't add something to them. I'm sure you saw when I was doing, the ground in here. Like, you could see I was coming in, like, I had this, like, rock brush tool that I included to draw some of this stuff here. That's a brush. It was a custom brush. But then I went in and I erased parts of it. I added parts to it. Like, I almost never, like, leave it exactly as is. Same thing with, like, this here. Like, I added this. And I added this. And I added this. And I added this. Like, and I added all these hatching lines to it, and I added this vine to it. All these hatching marks I added, like some bamboo grass I added here. These vertical lines I added. You know, I wanted it to look like grass and mossy, you know, like really full. It's a freaking jungle out there. You know, really thick forest. So I wanted to add all of that stuff. Same thing in here, like all of this in here. Like, that's all hand-drawn. This bridge is hand-drawn, you know. So, like, there's times where I decide when I want to hand-draw things, and then times where I'll use the brush to give me a head start, and then I'll, like, adjust it myself. I guess another good example I can show you would be, I also use 3D models sometimes, because time saving. So this is a really good example of where I used a 3D model, this particular panel right here, and I'll open the model for you. Let's see, Godsbane, they'd be in refs. References, nature, no, they'd be in maps. Maps and models. Trying to remember where I put that one. Is that, nope, that's not that one. That would be in references. Yep, Cocoa Garden. Well, that's the, here we go. And then I'll put them side by side so you can actually see them. So this was the 3D model that I used. I think that's the key, to be completely honest. So I think about an angle like this. I think I hit this one. Come on, select it. There's a lot of stuff going on now. My poor computer. Yeah, there we go. So let me put these side by side. So you can see that I basically used this as like the rough placement for everything, but I still had to hand draw a lot of things. Yeah, there you go. Let me move this over here. So I still had to hand draw a lot of stuff. So you can, let me see if I can line it up a little. Yeah, so I got rid of this sort of like platform. I got rid of that. That'll actually appear at a different time. So I basically got rid of that. This wolf thing I didn't need anymore. Coco's right here. You can actually see Coco in this one right here. But you can see that I just use it as like, how big is everything? Where is everything placed? And then like these little statues, they weren't perfect. I couldn't find a statue that had an eyeball on top of it. So I just wanted something that had a round thing that I could turn into an eyeball. You know what I mean? So finding things that will work for what you need them for, like in that moment, is perfectly fine. You can see here's that big mushroom that I hid. Right here's that big mushroom. But yeah, so like finding, and I didn't put the grass in here because I wanted to do all that myself. Like, I don't like the look of like 3D grass, and plus 3D grass like is so many NURBs and planes that it just stresses your computer out. Even mine, and mine's like a gaming computer. Like, I'm also doing this 3D model while I'm streaming, and I have like a bunch of files open and a bunch of like Windows tabs open. So I'm actually really happy that it's doing as well as it is. But yeah, so like it's about figuring out like working smarter and not harder, but also like, well, see, this was made in Clip Studio. Clip Studio allows you access to 3D models. I'll actually show you some of the ones that I have built. Here we go. This one. Whoops. Okay, so I have like a bunch of 3D models that I've built from various objects, just to give me like a basic perspective, and like size reference for everything. That's mainly why I do them. For example, blah, 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 scenes. You can't get them any bigger? Okay, so like, here, yeah, see, here's this one, Coco's inner garden. This is the outside. This is the outer garden, the one that I showed you in the page before. This one. This here was like started as a 3D model just so that I could get the size. And mostly this building, like, remember how I said I had that as a 3D model? I wanted to get the length of the bridge proper in perspective. And so I made like a little 3D model of it that just had like the blocks, and then like the house, and then like a little bit of bamboo, and then like how big I wanted that tree for this shot right here. And so now every time I draw this particular area outside, I'll be able to roughly get my perspective correct. I also have Aros's house here. This is the edited version of a shrine that I'll be drawing a lot. This is a boat for a funeral that'll be happening later in the story. This is the inner area, like the inside of this building. This one right here, this is the inside of that. I don't need this yet, but I'll need it later. And then this here is one of the newer pages. I'll actually show you this one. Let's see. I'll close that because that's straining my PC a bit. Actually, I think I have that right here. Yep. Dun, dun, dun. So, like, use the tools that are available to you. You know what I mean? So, like, this scene right here is this model up here at the very top. Actually, I probably could still turn the layer on for you. Oh, I rasterized it. Here, I'll turn it on for you. Oh, maybe I didn't. Did I delete it? It's a weird thing to do. Well, I must have deleted it then. That's weird. I don't know why I would have done that. Why would I have deleted that? Okay, well this, whoopsie. Oh shoot. Put it back, put it back, put it back, put it back. Okay. So this one you can actually see. So let me turn all of this off. So this one you can actually see the 3D model here. And then I just draw on top of it to kind of give me the perspective that I need. But I still like hand draw things. I don't like let it draw everything for me unless I'm like really short on time, which is almost never ever the case. Oh, it's auto saving. One sec. There it goes. Okay, cool. So yeah, hopefully like you get the idea. And I did the same thing for this panel here. I did the same thing for this panel. Yeah, same thing for this one. Where I had like the I don't know where I put it. I must have moved it to a different or deleted it since I was done with it. This will all be like bamboo here, and this is like a shrine gate thing that they're walking through. I have it on another panel here. Oh, whoops. But yeah, like I use 3D models, and if anyone like has a problem with it, they can deal with it. Like, I don't care. Not my monkey's not my circus. You know what I mean? No, my monkey's not my circus. If they have a problem with me using them, they can tell me. And then I still won't care. There's nothing wrong with using them to help get you, like... Here we go, yeah, now you can see it. It's rasterized, okay, yeah. So now you can kind of see the... I don't use this for every panel. It's only the ones that I'm going to need, like... If I have a specific place that I have to draw consistently every single time, or that I want to draw consistently, I'll go ahead and make a 3D model for it. That way it's consistent every time I draw it, and I get consistent sizing. So for example, Aro's standing here in front of this. I hate that when I turn this tool on, it freaks out every time. So like, Aros would be looking up here at this. I wanted the perspective, like the proportion with proper perspective here to be the same as it is here. And so having a 3D model helps me stay consistent and stay accurate, and it prevents me from wasting a lot of time trying to guess. You know what I mean? Like, why guess when I don't have to guess? Right? All they have to do is watch the documentary on Shinichi Sakamoto. That's all they have to do. And I send people that video. I've had to send people that video. It's by ArtCrumbs. Do you guys know about it? Actually, I'll grab a link for you guys if you don't know about it. Like Rosa Versailles guy. It's an amazing video. Definitely watch that video if you like Shinichi's work. I am so excited for his Dracula book. I can't wait. He is the perfect person for Dracula. Him or Berserk. Him or Mira would have been like the perfect people to do Dracula. But I'm sure I'm going to like Shinichi's take better than I would Mira's. Because he has the ability to... I don't want to say Mira couldn't do gracefulness, because he could. Obviously Griffith, but like, I feel like Shinichi just has a special, he has like that, what's the phrase I'm looking for? That like, super soft flair. Do you know what I mean? Like, he has the flair to make something look extra soft, like extra clean, but have it still be like, he's almost like a mixture. I'm going to say something really weird. I see Shinichi Sakamoto as like the blend between Yusuke Murata and Mira. he has the super crazy, beautiful, detailed work, but like Mira does, but it's contained and clean, like Murata's work is. Does that make sense? I see him as like this middleman between the two of them. That's just how I see him, and I love his work. It's beautiful. It's like the perfect mix of beastly and beauty. I love it. You like deer? Woo. I have lots of deers. Lots of deers. I like deers. Anyway, I hope that was helpful to you guys. Like, I hope that was a good answer for you. Sorry it was a really long answer. But yeah, it really does depend on the background, because like, there are times you need a background and times you don't need a background. Because a background should only be added if it provides value or information. If it doesn't provide value and it doesn't provide information, and information can be anything from, like, have the characters moved within the existing space? If so, then include a background. At least something, or some way to show that those characters have moved, because that's important information for the reader to know. That's something that in the animation world, and I studied animation for 3 years, like, in animation we would show that. We would show that the characters have moved, unless we intentionally don't want the audience to know. And the only time you really want to do that is if you want to basically jump scare your audience. It's used a lot in horror. So for example, like, someone may see like the monster coming from them at like let's say a window in front of them, and they'll see it go below the window, and then they'll think it's gone. And then all of a sudden, like, they don't have any more information. And then all of a sudden it's like reaching through the window right next to them, that they didn't see it approaching, and it like tries to grab them. Like, they didn't know the monster had moved. The audience doesn't know the monster had moved. Like, that's unknown, which is like the fear of the unknown is used in horror all the time. So there's a time for that. Like, and Junji Ito uses it a lot as well, when he doesn't want the reader specifically to know that, or the characters involved in the situation know that someone has moved. So that's like one example. But like, in general, the background is just another character, and if it doesn't provide value or information, don't add it. Information can also be context. So for example, the background here, the page that this, I'll show you the page that this comes from. Actually, that's a good example, the page that this comes from. That would be in June's. So for example, the page that this comes from, the guy, there's a man here who has caught Aros, and he's taking the necklace that Aros wears. And like, I have a little bit of a background here. Like, there's nothing really important here that happens, other than the blade gets cut, or the rope gets cut. So I made sure that you could see this like shiny moment, like, this is what you need to focus on, this is what's important. Like, yes, the text is here, but I wanted to make sure that they focused on this particular moment right here. And then here, I only added a little bit of background. I probably, if I would have done it again, I would have made Aros a little bit smaller, moved him down so I could show their emotional state better. This was emotional state. And then everyone's like, wait a minute, why does Aros not look like Mal? Well, Aros is in here. So that was providing information on where Aros was. Aros is inside Mal, because now Mal is in control of his body. And so Aros goes in the little room that Mal was in earlier. So, yeah. So, like, there's times where you want to show, like, information or, like, emotional context. Emotional context would qualify as a background. So, like, oh, I'm not going to show that one. That's not safe for work. Can't show that one. Like, emotional context. Here we go. This is a good one. So, like, in this panel, Rin originally says, what the? Like, she's surprised, right? This is emotional context. And then this is her dialogue. I would change this. If I were to do it again, I'd use a different bubble here. But the idea is still the same. Like, that's emotional context. So that's when you would include a background. But what's more important, it's not what's behind her. Like, same thing here. Like, this is This is context for like what's happening. Like, I want the feeling in this panel to be Aros is getting his butt beaten. So I have these vertical lines. Like, whoopsie. Of course, too small, too big. I have these vertical lines, like, reinforcing the action that's happening here. And then Aros is like, oh no, 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 like, I'm really small. And then this guy, he's vertical, looking straight down, his body's straight here. He's like the opposite. Aros is all horizontal. He's vertical. This action is coming down on him. And then we have this shape in the background. And then all this is filled in to, like, emphasize the shape of this. You know what I mean? Here, I'll link that for you. That's why I filled it in with a dark color. That's mooring a little bit. I filled it in with a darker color to, like, emphasize the shape. And I also wanted it, like, pointing directly at this guy. I would change it. I would next time. Miso, please stop. I know, honey. I know. I don't usually stream this long. Next time I would actually have it pointed at his back. So I might, like, lower it just a little bit. But yeah. So, like, as far as, like, what you add to your backgrounds, it's really helpful to look for, like, what motion are you trying to indicate, what motions you're trying to indicate, what emotions you're trying to convey for, like, you know, context, social context, and then is it providing actual information, you know, like, have the characters moved, where like, establishing shot kind of stuff, like, that's one way to use, another way to use backgrounds. And then there's creating fear, which is what they do in horror all the time. So, like, in that way, you would purposely not be completely honest with people. You'd withhold information to help the fear factor. So, hope that was my thank you for coming to my TED Talk about backgrounds. I love backgrounds. I enjoy backgrounds way more than characters. Even though it's technically a character itself. It's a very versatile character. So, yeah. Alright, we did good. I got this drawing done. I got this one done. I got this in here done. I got things shaded. I need to go in and do this one. Let's see. I need to go in and do this one right here. And then I need to fill in all the text. Miso, oh my gosh. She's like shoving her way into my lap. She's such a cuddle cat. Oh my goodness. She's like demanding my attention. She's so funny. So I have an ottoman under my desk, where I'm sitting right now, and Miso decided that she is going to sit in my lap, whether I give her permission or not. And so instead of coming up to me and asking like she normally does, she came up to me and just jumped up on there and like started like smacking my leg so that I would pay attention to her. Like, yeah, she's silly. What, Miso? Now you're pulling at my headset, so I'll pay attention to you. I have a wired headset, and she likes to pull on it when she wants my attention. Alright guys, I'm probably gonna go ahead and stop. It is almost 11 o'clock. I haven't actually had dinner yet. I wanted to try to start at my usual time for the stream. I was about 10 minutes late, so my apologies, but I was here for 3.5 hours. So I'm going to go take a break from drawing, and I'm going to go have some dinner. What I might do is I might change this. I might move this up. Miso, I'm right here, honey. enlarge in this area here. Oh my gosh. Anyway, if you guys don't have any more questions for me, I will go ahead and get ready to take off for the night. Thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm sure Miso appreciates it as well, little booger that she is. It's always fun having people here to kind of chat with, because sometimes it's, you know, kind of lonely working all by myself. So I appreciate you all for being here. Take it easy and have a wonderful night. I will see you guys definitely tomorrow. I definitely want to stream tomorrow to kind of make up for all the streams that I missed this week. I definitely missed way too many streams, but I had to get my Jeep fixed, and thankfully the Jeep is up and functional again. Thank goodness. It would have been not fun to not have my Jeep again, because I don't like not having my personal freedom, and the bus system here sucks. So I will see you guys next time. Take it easy and have a wonderful night. Ciao!